Welcome, backwards denizens of the Milky Way, to our inaugural broadcast of the universe's best food review show, to your less refined corner of creation. We hope this exhibition of fine foodstuffs from just one galaxy over will finally motivate you to invent FTL travel after such a long period of technological inadequacy. Welcome to Andromeda Ate, past tense. Today, we're in Zamplo 17, home to the Zamplo Zoonotics, a chaseball team whose enthusiasm is frankly contagious. Two-headed cats, and at least a dozen failed communist revolutions. But we're not here to participate in the traditional catchball feast of the losing team's entrails. We're here for something else. A bite of Zamplo Posy Fruit. Hi Mr. Zabloop, thanks for having us. Would you mind explaining to me how exactly you prepare a posy fruit? No worries, Jesse Droid. We're happy to have you. Any successful preparation of posy fruit starts by breaking the posy fruit's neck. It doesn't kill the bugger. God knows they're far more resilient than that. But what's important is that they're demoralised for the next stage of prep. Interesting. Does this cause the fruit any pain? I usually stick to raw meat to avoid ethical quandaries like this. Only if unanaesthetised. Most chefs prefer anaesthetised to reduce the risk of it fighting back. Isn't it lovely when both ethical and culinary concerns lead us to the same place? Truly, two roads to a universal truth. Well, it's really more of an employee retention measure. But sure, lady, let 1,000 blossoms bloom. So what are you doing with the knife now? Just testing the sharpness with your tongue. If it bleeds, the knife is sharp enough. Is that why your tongue's forked? Pink. Good enough. And no, that's genetic. And frankly, I'm offended. Oh, sorry. Split used to be a lot shorter though. So now that your sharpness test is complete, what are you doing with the knife? Well, in fruit psychology, there's a concept called fight, fruit, or make friends. As we discussed earlier, this particular fruit defaults to the first. We want it to do the latter. So, we make a quick incision into the fruit's occipital lobe and thread this. Mr. Zabloop is holding a small copper brain probe. It appears to be from a culinary supply store. Just pass it through to their pleasure centres. Then we connect the probe to this battery and wirehead them. Wow, that fruit is really convulsing. Is that normal? Perfectly. It distributes the flavour compounds through the meat, ensuring an even, tender flavour. Okay, the fruit has stopped convulsing, and you're removing the probe. What do we do now? We're basically done. We just cut this into thin strips and serve sashimi. Amazing. This not only looks delicious, but was ethically prepared from fresh local ingredients. I can't wait to dig in. But first, a word from our sponsors. If you're after the thickest angel hair, dangliest tagliatelle, or just want to see some conchigli, mosey your way on over to Nudist Ned's Nude House, where we serve all our pasta nude, so you can appreciate their unaltered taste. Nudist Ned's Nude House. No shirt, no shoes, free entree. And we're back. Mr. Zabloop has just finished their preparation, and what I have in front of me is a beautiful plate of bleeding posy fruit slices. Is it true that you practice whole fruit butchery here, Mr. Zabloop? Absolutely, Jesse Droid. We pride ourselves on using the whole fruit. What isn't on the plate in front of you is used for stocks, mince, and the leftover blood is scooped up for eye drops. Marvellous. It really shows that there's an ethical way to consume creatures many times our intellectual superior. Before I bite in, and I don't want to wait too long because this smells positively scrumptious. How are the reviews? I've never heard a bad thing about this dish. The reviews have been positively motivating. When we found the first posi fruit growing out of an abandoned gravesite, we were worried that the customers wouldn't get it, you know? The flavour's complex, downright corpsey, in a good way. But once customers get their masticulators around it, they're unable to say a bad word. Wonderful. I can't wait a second longer. I'm going to bite in. Oh, crunchy. What is this taste? This is delicious. That's the only thing I can say, Zabloop. This fruit is delicious. Yeah, all our customers come out saying that. The flavour sure is unique, isn't it? Yes, it is. The corpse flavour is pungent and overwhelming, and I'm unable to say anything bad about it. It must be the most delicious thing I've ever eaten, because otherwise, why am I saying these words in this order? I simply must have another bite. More, Zabloop, more! Where can I find more? Only the first one's free, my silly little radio host. Here, take this. It'll dampen the cravings. Zabloop has just handed me a small vial of red liquid. It's posifruit blood. 1 drop per eye every half hour will get you by. Come talk to me when it runs out, and we can figure out what to do from there. Okay, better get on with the show. I'll see you when I'm out of drops, Zabloop. I'm sure you will, little robot. After my revelatory experience with the posifruit, I made my way to a local lab to see if there was any way to undo the wholly positive changes this miracle fruit had etched into my brain. Hi, Mrs. Zankar. Thanks for having us. No worries, Jessadroid. I heard on the Posivine that you've been touched by the hand of fruit. Yes, quite invasively, if I might say so myself. Ha, yes. The cravings can be quite something. What would you like to learn about the greatest oblate spheroid to ever grace our planet? Well, Mix Zankar, theoretically, if one were to want to undo the profound and wholly positive changes that are etched into one's very being after the consumption of posifruit, how would they go about it? Why, that's simply unthinkable. And I mean it. Back in my troublesome youth, I was an esteemed professor of parasitology on my home planet of Avalon B. After an urgent call for research from our galactic sovereign, I accepted a research posting on reversing the posifruit's divine touch. You see, back in the day, they thought posifruits were a species-specific parasite, and they were right. Not that I would use such crass terminology myself. So I, in my infinite wisdom, thought of myself as somewhat of a liberator, here to free the savages from their repellent, fruit-worshipping ways. But how wrong was I? Thankfully, before I could plunge our planet into eternal darkness, my native co-workers hatched an ingenious plan. What did they do? They tied me to a wall, hinged my jaw open with a disused automotive spring, and poured in posifruit puree until I saw the truth. That sounds wondrous. I wish I could experience something like that someday. For how long, Mix Zankar, were you treated to such luxury? About 12 days. I still remember the taste of death meeting my tongue for the first time. The texture of corpse descending my throat and descending back up again. Some things we only get to experience once in a lifetime, Jessidroid. As much as we wish we could return, we never can. Profound. Profound. I'm so glad I'll never be able to return to my heathenist way of life. Thank you, Mix Zankar, for your contributions to science. No worries, Jessidroid. I'm always happy to contribute to the greater good. Speaking of, why haven't you burnt down this lab? Couldn't it be used by future heretics to damage the cause? There is always a risk. I won't deny that. But when that final revelatory litre of posifruit made its way down my throat, I came to a realisation. I alone have more knowledge of posifruit biology than any other creature alive. And the only way I could make up for my previous life of crime was to become a prophet. My lab now exclusively works on gain-of-function mutations. Our latest invention is a posifruit variety that can enlighten 90% of known life in the galaxy, which you, Jessidroid, were the lucky first consumer of. Tell me, Jessidroid, how do you feel? I feel euphoric, enlightened, but most of all, patriotic. I would lay my life on the line for the posifruit cause. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Exactly as expected. We're sending out the first interplanetary shipments this week. 1 unmarked crate of fruit to every star in the galaxy. With any luck, Jessidroid, you'll be the first of many. Don't worry, for your profound service, we'll make sure to get you an unmarked soldier's grave. Thank you. Thank you. I mean it. I really mean it. How does the Sovereign feel about your research? They must be ecstatic at your progress converting the galaxy to the one true religion, right? They must be. Unfortunately, I've surmised that the Sovereign would be less than pleased at our research. I've kept it hidden for the time being, at least until we can figure out how to spread enlightenment to them too. What an ungrateful wench! Someone ought to topple them. Yes, someone really should. On that note, a word from our undeserving dictator. A word from your Litecoin's AI sovereign. Make sure to brush your teeth and wax your fins. Fungal disease is no laughing thing. Visit your local dolphin health clinic for more information. Approved by the Monopoly on Violence, everywhere. Hi everyone. During the ad break, I ran out of eye drops and sprinted as fast as I could back to Zibloops, but they're on a fucking lunch break and I don't know what I'm gonna fucking do. Let me in! Let me in! Let me fucking in, Zibloop! Oh, you're back already? Ha! That was quick. Usually these things last longer. Come in. Let's have a chat. Hurry up, Mike Droid. We don't have time to waste. I'm following Mr. Zibloop. How long is this gonna fucking take? Hurry up, Zibloop. Hurry up, please. Calm down. Calm down. Mr. Zibloop is pointing to a plush red couch. I'm sitting on it. They're not giving me posifruit. Why aren't they giving me posifruit? Well, you see, Jessidroid, we reviewed your record, and unfortunately, there's nothing much you can do for us. You have no skills to contribute to the cause. We simply have no reason to give you any more posifruit. Oh, please, no. I'll do anything. Just one bite. Just one bite, please. Calm down. I was getting to that. It's a bit quick, but the posifruit you ate should have released spores by now, all through your flesh. In exchange for this, Mr. Zibloop is holding the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. A single paper-thin see-through slice of posy fruit. It's bleeding red, pulsating. Oh, I'd do anything for even a lick. Just a little, please, just a lick. All I ask for is your corpse today. Of course, I'd do anything. Anything at all. I'd do anything. Of course. Here you go. Thank you, kind sir. Without your help, I would have never been able to experience such joy. I suppose it's only right that I should give you what's owed. Here's fine. Take this. And for all our listeners, I only hope that one day you too can experience this. That one day you too can be touched by the positive fruit. That one day you too can experience its mercy. Goodbye. Thank you dearly for listening to the first episode of Andromeda Ate, released in your backwards corner of the galaxy. We're gonna have to take a brief intermission to go check on our intrepid host, and perhaps come to some alternative hosting arrangements. But we'll see you next. Insert local customary time period here.